Hello, crew, and welcome to your 7 Minutes of Piracy. Hey, welcome back. We had a little hiatus, and on our last episode, we talked about inspiration, and we have inspiration for this episode.
Do we ever?
We are currently flying the quarantine flag in front of our house because all 4 members of our household have COVID, which is fun. Dropped everybody's voice down an octave or 2, which is great for radio. We're not on radio. Anyway, but we're going to cover some pirate flags this week and get you caught up so you know your pirate flags, and that's important on the high seas.
Yes, it is.
And low F sharps, too. Definitely are. The very first flag we're going to talk about is the Calico Jack. Very popular. As it turns out, the Calico Jack was one of the most flown flags. In the 17th centuries, a lot of different pirates used it. Everybody used it to inform other ships that they were in fact a pirate ship and they were about to attack the other ship. So fairly common. The Jolly Roger was a generic term for any flag that had a skull and crossbones on it. A lot of different designs. I just happened to pick one off the interweb. But when you saw another ship with a flag following you, skull and crossbones, not good. So pirate flag number 2, Margaret.
Pirate flag number 2 is Blackbeard's. Sorry, I have COVID brain. Okay, sorry. Blackbeard's flag, also known as Edward Teach. I know we've talked a lot about him in previous episodes, but his ship was the Queen Anne's Revenge. Okay,
excellent. Pirate flag number 3 is the Calico Jack. Actually, very similar to the Jolly Roger skull and crossbones, but instead of the bones, he had the swords. I'm a big fan of this flag. I have this flag tattooed on my person. I fly this flag in front of my house. I like the flag a lot. Not a huge fan of Calico Jack. He was a great pirate. He had women pirates on his ship, which I like. But when he was finally cornered and captured, he just surrendered. He decided not to fight. And you may have heard the term on the day of his execution. Anne Bonny went to visit him and said, if you'd fought like a man, you wouldn't have to die like a dog. And then they hung him. So, Calico Jack. And away he went. So,
whoopsie.
Pirate flag number 3
is Thomas II.
Thomas II.
He was a Red Sea pirate and in the Caribbean. So.
Okay. Okay, the next flag we have for you is by Edward Lowe, who his first name was Ned. Apparently, Ned didn't pull a lot of weight, so we went with Edward. Very short pirate career, but he ended up capturing about 100 ships. He was famous for torturing his people, all the people he caught, and then burning the ships down into the sea. So, didn't make you very popular, but, you know, pirate. Okay, next up.
Next is Black Bart, Bartholomew Roberts. He had a very short career, but we've talked about him before, and he captured over 400 ships, so he was a pretty active pirate for 3 years. Excellent.
The next pirate flag I have, actually one of the people I actually admire from the period. This is going to be John Lafitte. There's a lot of history about whether he was a pirate or a privateer. He was actually trying to help the continental U.S. in its victory against Britain for independence. So he was actually fighting alongside of the U.S. at the time, even though the U.S. fired upon him multiple times, not believing he was actually going to help. It wasn't until they were really starting to get their ass kicked and really needed help that they went to him and said, okay, we believe you now, will you help us? And he actually did, and he actually helped them win the Battle of New Orleans from 1812. You know the song, The Battle of New Orleans?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, he was an integral part in that and didn't get a lot of credit for it. So again, not exactly privateer, and we're going to talk about that later on our pirate fact of the day.
Okay.
Sneak. What is that? Sneak preview. All right.
Oh jeez.
Next flag.
Christopher Condent was also known as Billy One Hand. Why?
Why was he called Billy One Hand?
Because he had one hand. Shocking. And anyway, he got a huge bounty. In the 1700s, he scored a bounty of 3,000 pounds per
crewman.
Per crewman. And so that like made him richer than the king. And so he decided to go to Bourbon Island and retire.
Bourbon Island.
Which, that sounds like a place I want to be.
It's on our list.
Anyway, he said, I'm done. I'm retiring. And so he bribed his way onto the dock and retired there, got into good graces, and even married the governor's sister-in-law. So,
which is easy when you're rich.
Not too shabby.
My next flag is no quarter flag. There's actually a couple different designs for the no quarter flag, but they usually had a couple things in common. One no quarter flag was just a red flag. It was also known as the blood flag. When another ship raised up the no quarter flag or the blood flag, that meant that they were not planning on taking any prisoners, planning on killing everybody. So you knew you could either run as fast as you can, or you could fight as hard as you can, but you didn't need to expect any mercy. Another version of the no quarter flag would have an hourglass on it. Sometimes it would have an arm with a sword in it. So any combination of red flag with an hourglass, red flag with an arm. So
what did the hourglass mean?
The hourglass meant your time is up.
Ooh.
Your last couple grains, you had 5 minutes. So put your affairs in order, and by that I mean, tie all the gold around your waist and jump overboard.
Yikes.
There you go.
You're about to go see Davy Jones?
Yeah. All right, last flag we have for today.
Last flag is the one that is flying over our house at the moment. It is a yellow flag, which means plague, do not enter. The original flag was just plain yellow. The modern day version of the the plague flag is a black and yellow checkerboard. So we are currently flying that until our quarantine is over.
Which will hopefully be this week.
I hope so.
All right, let's talk about your pirate fact of the week. I touched on it earlier, the difference between a pirate and a privateer. Now, anybody can be a pirate. You can go out, you can sack ships, you can take all the money, you can kill the people, you can let them go, you can burn the ship, whatever you want to do, you're a pirate. Now, a privateer is somebody who has a written contract from the government to attack certain ships or to defend the coast from certain ships. So, if you're guarding a certain coast and you've got a written contract from the government, you can attack other ships, and you actually have kind of an ongoing pardon from the government to do whatever you want. So I spoke earlier about John Lafitte during the American Revolution. He was actually hired by the U.S. government as a privateer, even though the United States Navy at the time didn't believe him and still fired upon him. In the end, he ended up helping us and was granted a full pardon for him and his men. He had over 1,000 people working for him in the swamps of Louisiana, and every time they went to arrest him, they would lose him in the swamps. And the people in Louisiana, they would not give up one of their own. So
wow,
I think
I didn't know that.
The United States government finally said, you know what, just pardon him. We can't find him anyway. So that's what they did.
Huh.
Hey, if you're interested in John Lafitte, there's a 1958 black and white movie about John Lafitte called The Buccaneer. It's fantastic. I don't think I've seen it in 40 years, but it's worth watching. And it'll tell you everything you need to know about John Lafitte. Hey, thank you for joining us. Hey. COVID brain.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us this week. We're going to get back on a regularly scheduled distribution now that we're moderately healthy. Moderately. And hey, thanks, guest pirate appearance by Emma in there. Perhaps we'll get her in pirate regalia one of these days.
Yeah, we should get her involved.
So until we
see each other again, just remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Fair wind, my friends.
Fair winds.